Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation. I'm so glad that you've joined us. Don't forget to click the subscribe button below to receive updates and notifications. Today we are joined by Hakim Hamza, who will lead us in meditation, and then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we're going to open it up for sharing, and we end at 10:45. Over to you, Hakim.
Hi everyone. Today we're doing a meditation. First, it's going to be inspired by something we hear from Jesus from Workbook lesson 182. So I would say, let the word speak to you and have its own say. And whatever you feel about it, let that be the meditation. Let the words work with you during this silent period we have in the meditation. But I do want to say that I picked this workbook lesson because I feel that it's one of the most beautiful parts of the course. Jesus speaks to how it is to be in a separated state. We can all relate to this description he gives. And the term the child, he speaks of a child within us. It is both our longing for the truth and to get home, but it's also the Holy Spirit within us. So you can keep that in mind. And I will start reading now. It's lesson 182. I will be still an instant and go home. This world you seem to live in is not home to you. And somewhere in your mind you know that this is true. A memory of home keeps haunting you, as if there were a place that called you to return, although you do not recognize the voice, nor what it is the voice reminds you of. Yet still you feel an alien here, from somewhere all unknown. Nothing so definite that you could say with certainty you are an exile here. Just a persistent feeling, sometimes not more than a tiny throb, at other times hardly remembered, actively dismissed, but surely to return to mind again. No one but knows whereof we speak, yet some try to put by their suffering in games they play to occupy their time and keep their sadness from them. Others will deny that they are sad and do not recognize their tears at all. Still others will maintain that what we speak of is illusion, not to be considered more than but a dream. Yet who, in simple honesty, without defensiveness and self-deception, would deny he understands the words we speak? We speak today for everyone who walks this earth, this world, for he is not at home. He goes uncertainly about in endless search, seeking in darkness what he cannot find, not recognizing what it is he seeks. 1,000 homes he makes, yet none contents his restless mind. He does not understand. He does not understand he builds in vain. The home he seeks cannot be made by him. There is no substitute for heaven. All he ever made was hell. Perhaps you think it is your childhood home that you would find again. The childhood of your body and its place of shelter are a memory now so distorted that you merely hold a picture of a past that never happened. Yet there is a child in you who seeks his father's house and knows that he is alien here. This childhood is eternal, with an innocence that will endure forever. Where this child shall go is holy ground. It is his holiness that lights up heaven, and that brings to earth the pure reflection of the light above, wherein are earth and heaven joined as one. It is this child in you your Father knows as his own Son. It is this child who knows his Father. He desires to go home so deeply, so incessantly, his voice cries unto you to let him rest a while. He does not ask for more than just a few instants of respite, just an interval in which he can return to breathe again the holy air that fills his Father's house. You are his home as well. He will return, but give him just a little time to be himself within the peace that is his home, resting in silence and in peace and love. This child needs your protection. He is far from home. He is so little that he seems so easily shut out, his tiny voice so readily obscured, his call for help almost unheard amid the grating sounds and harsh and rasping noises of the world. Yet does he know that in you still abides his sure protection. You will fail him not. He will go home, and you along with him. This child is your defenselessness, your strength. He trusts in you. He came because he knew you would not fail. He whispers of his home unceasingly to you. For he would bring you back with him, that he himself might stay, and not return again where he does not belong and where he lives an outcast in a world of alien thoughts. His patience has no limits. He will wait until you hear his gentle voice within you, calling you to let him go in peace along with you to where he is at home and you with him. When you are still an instant, when the world recedes from you, when valueless ideas cease to have value in your restless mind, then you will hear his voice. So poignantly he calls to you that you will not resist him longer. In that instant, he will speak, he will take you to his home, and you will stay with him in perfect stillness, silent and at peace, beyond all words, untouched by fear and doubt, sublimely certain that you are at home. Rest with him frequently today, for he was willing to become a little child that you might learn of him how strong is he who comes without defenses, offering only love's messages to those who think he is their enemy. He holds the might of heaven in his hand and calls them friend, and gives his strength to them, that they may see he would be friend to them. He asks that they protect him, for his home is far away, and he will not return to it alone. Christ is reborn as but a little child each time a wanderer would leave his home, for he must learn that what he would protect is but this child who comes defenseless and who is protected by defenselessness. Go home with him from time to time today. You are as much an alien here as he. Take time today to lay aside your shield which profits nothing, and lay down the spear and sword you raised against an enemy without existence. Christ has called you friend and brother. He has even come to ask your help in letting him go home today, completed and completely. He has come as does a little child who must beseech his Father for protection and for love. He rules the universe, and yet he asks unceasingly that you return with him and take illusions as your gods no more. You have not lost your innocence. It is for this you yearn. This is your heart's desire. This is the voice you hear, and this the call which cannot be denied. The Holy Child remains with you, his home is yours. Today he gives you his defenselessness, and you accept it in exchange for all the toys of battle you have made. And now the way is open, and the journey has an end in sight at last. Be still an instant and go home with him and be at peace a while.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry, I'm here. I had everything switched off.
Open your eyes and come back into the room. If you'd like to share, raise your hand, and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. John, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Hakim, and thank you, everybody. Oh, what a beautiful lesson. Yeah. When I first came upon this lesson, it suddenly struck me that it was so true, and that my whole life I'd never felt I'd fitted in, right way back to being a young child. And then I realized that nearly everybody I spoke to on this journey, when they got talking, they all expressed the same thing. They never fitted in. They never fitted in. And this became my favorite lesson. It's so real and so true, and it is about nurturing that inner child of ours that's far from home. And another amazing thing happened regarding this particular lesson is I was in a key cutting place when we were home this time, getting a bunch of keys cut for my house. And there were two women waiting behind me to be served. And they were chatting. They said, can you imagine all the keys we've had cut in our lives, and all the different places we've lived in? And I just instinctively said, yeah. I said, 1,000 homes we make and none can tempt our restless mind. And she said, oh my God, that's beautiful. Did you write that? And I said, no. I said, it comes from a book I'm studying. And she said, oh, what's the name of the book? I said, it's called A Course in Miracles. And that's what I said, Sharon, I'm going to write that down. And then Annie and I went to a weekend workshop with Bruce Lipton in Barcelona this weekend. And we came back and decided to go out for dinner. And we were sat at our table, and right next to us, the tables were very close. Another couple were there. And suddenly the guy gently said to us, I'm sorry, I don't want to disturb. I heard you talking about something called A Course in Miracles. And we said, yeah. He said, what's that about? I said, it's a course, to help you be peaceful. And so he said, I'm going to look for that. So he went on his phone and he said, oh, I've got it. It was written by Alan Cohen. And I said, no. I said, no, that's called A Course in Miracles Made Easy. And he said, well, would that help me? And I said, yeah, I think it did. It would do. And it's just amazing because Jesus says in the course somewhere, I will send people to you and you will know who they are and what to say. And I thought, how wonderful is this? But that lesson is so, so true. And what it did for me, it helped me stop seeking, because I realized I was seeking for something within rather than out there. So thank you so much for doing that. It's a beautiful lesson. Thank you. Thank you all.
I mean, it's amazing how everybody has this inner child, right? Nobody walks this earth without this. Like, we can pretend that we don't have this and we can deny our sadness, as the lesson says. But imagine that if everybody has it, it means everybody's justified in love, to be met with love. And everybody, if they don't hear their call themselves, maybe we need to hear it for them. Show them that what they think they would need from us, maybe they want, something that validates their specialness, and we show them this is what you need, a gentle touch. Then we awaken their inner child. We let them know, did you forget about this child within you? He's there. How many people, society, does it speak for this child? Does the culture speak for this child? Maybe it doesn't, more or less, right? So imagine what we can do as people to see this inner child within ourselves and in others. If we don't want to see it in others, it means we don't want to see it in ourselves. Because to meet this inner child is actually quite heartbreaking at times. Because then we know, I've treated this child so badly. All I know that this child only needs like a quiet moment from me. It just needs, it asks us to just be gentle. Stop with the self-abuse, with the pressure, with the criticizing. Even criticizing our own judgments. Can we forgive us for that? It says, look at what you're doing to yourself. It is to hear that outcry is to make us more gentle. And remember, in A Course in Miracles, we're all 6 years old. Jesus doesn't see anybody exceeding 6 years old. Nowhere in the Course does he address us as adults. He speaks to us as children. So let yourself be a 6-year-old person. Doesn't 6-year-olds want to feel safe? Okay, but where can you feel safe? with our own ideas of what would make us safe? Or do we feel safe with our father and mother? Assuming we had a good mother, not these worldly mothers and fathers, okay? So we have to let ourselves be these children, 6 years old. It's this child that took us to this meditation. It is this child that says you don't deserve guilt. What you think you did has had no effect on love. Your peace is not vulnerable. Your love still shines. This child says, please let me love. Why are you obstructing me? If I don't love, I don't know who I am. And it's worth paying attention to what does the ego say about this child? This impulse when we want to go there. How do we deflect from this child's voice? It's worth paying attention to it so we can say no to that obstruction.
Norman, take yourself off mute.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I can relate beautifully to everything that you've said. Excuse me. I've had a recurring dream for a long, long time. When I was a child, about 2 or 3 in nappies, a voice said to me, what have you got in your hand? And I said, a big stick. And it said, here comes a big man. You better hit him with it before he hits you. He's bigger than you. So I did. And the man turned around, gave me a funny look, and carried on, disappeared over the hill. And I thought to myself, probably lives over there. He might get me again. I better be careful. We went over that hill. And I could never have it explained. But not so long ago, I had an awareness that through the symbolic language of the Course, that big man was God. And I had put him out of my life as a young child and lived in hell basically until that happened. Until I asked, just kept asking, why did this happen? Why? A child has no mental capacity to figure out anything. And the answer was, you were never born. And that brought me great peace, believe it or not. Because I also had a dream of a young prince who had locked up inside me. And it was a dungeon, there was no windows, but the door was open. And although there was no light, the light was coming from him, and there was warmth as well. And he seemed reasonably happy to be locked up. But then suddenly realized he is the light within me, but I couldn't get him out. He tried putting a hand in and pulling him out, but he wasn't coming. And then I realized also that young prince was the love in me, and it just exemplified through that lesson exactly how it felt. And it's strange, it's taken 78 years to realize it. But now I'm just going to try my best to stop the ego, because the ego didn't want me to speak here. He said, no, give somebody else a chance. Nobody wants to listen to you. And then I wasn't going to say anything, and I thought, well, that's the ego saying that. So I'm going to tell it anyway now. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Norman. Looks like you let the prince out the cage. Norman the prince.
Who'd like to share?
Remember, this child needs very little from you. Sometimes just 1 second of attention, just a nod. So play with this child. See what happens when we just give him a little bit, him or her.
Annie, take yourself off mute.
I just wanted to share a funny moment for me in that meditation. And I don't know if it was just us that heard it or if everyone heard it. I was sitting, was doing the quiet, the inner child, and asking for Jesus to talk to me. And then this voice says, I'm here, I'm here. I recognize that voice. And then it stopped. And I thought, I did have a laugh.
Yeah.
It was Ian. And I don't think he's now on the meditation, but he must have somehow got mixed up with his Zooms, and he was chatting to someone else, and it popped up on our Zoom. Now, I don't know if everybody heard it or not, but I certainly heard it. And anyway, that was just a share, just a piece of fun. And my inner child loved it. My inner child likes to laugh. I always know that, the giggle that comes out of you is your inner child having fun. Because yes, you must let the tears, but you must let the joy as well. But thank you very much for that beautiful lesson. I really love it. Thank you.
Teresa, take yourself off mute.
Yes, Hakim, thank you very much. It's lovely to meet you. And it's also, I liked when you said, even the criticism, the judgment, just don't judge that. And so while I was meditating, it was very, very peaceful, but I was also aware, I was thinking about the past and about the future, and then I became aware I was thinking about the past and the future, and I didn't judge it. And that's quite new, a new, different part of my mind that doesn't judge. So thank you for that reminder. Thank you.
When you didn't judge it, what changed within you? How did you feel?
I felt softer and more of a smile, more of an acceptance.
And that's how we'll feel when we listen to the inner child. Yeah.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you, Hakim. That was wonderful. And take yourself off mute and express your appreciation to Hakim.
Thank you, Hakim.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you very